In this video, I'm going to teach you how to create an autonomous AI agent that can take care of your whole customer support of your company just by using Make.com automation and Gemini's AI API. And the best part is you don't have to write a single line of code to execute all of this, and you can do everything with no code. I'll also demo you everything live, and by the end of this video, you'll also get blueprints of Make.com scenarios that you can just import and deploy this autonomous AI agent as your customer support.
Okay, so this is the familiar make.com screen that you are seeing. And if you're not familiar with make.com, I have done multiple tutorials about it. Have a look. It's not too difficult to grasp. So I'll tell you how to do everything step by step in this tutorial itself. All right. So once you sign up for make.com, by the way, if you do a regular sign up, you will get only 1,000 operations per month. But if you sign up with my link that is in the description, you will actually be getting a pro plan for 1 month completely free, in which you will get 10,000 operations instead of only 1,000 that you will get without that. So if you're signing up for a new account on make.com, use my link, which is in the description down below. Once you have signed up for this, you should go to scenarios and you will have to create a new scenario. So before creating new scenario, understand what the logic would be. The logic would be that whenever you get an email from a customer that is maybe on your support email or a specific email that you have mentioned in your website as a support email, the scenario should trigger, the automation should trigger, and the agent should get to work, right? So the first step should be that our automation should be able to see whenever we receive a new email. So for that, we will add a Gmail hook right here, and in this Gmail hook we will have a watch emails trigger. What this will do is that this will watch your inbox for emails that we will define right now in next steps, that what it needs to watch, and whenever it encounters the exact match, it will trigger something else which we are going to do after this, right? So firstly, let's create a connection. So for this one, hit on this and then click sign in with Google. And we are going to sign up, and we click continue and we click allow. Okay, so we are good to go with our connection. Now we have to choose a folder, and we should choose all mails because sometimes Gmail's filter can put your support emails in promotions or updates. So we want to watch the whole account of our company, right? In filter type, I would choose a Gmail filter because we are using Gmail as our primary email provider, and sometimes Gmail's filters work slightly differently than what simple filters would. So we don't want to take a risk of that, and we want to execute it on every single query that we receive, right? Now I would not put a filter on the query. Instead, I will put a filter on the email address, because we will have a certain email address for support for our company, and we want to be able to track all the support requests that come to that particular email address, right? So in this case, I will put to support@talkflowai.com. That's a sample email that I just created just for this demo, but you can have any email like support@yourcompany.com or whatever@whatever.com. All right. So you got the point right here. You can also use other syntax. I'll just tell you what all you can use right here. So all these are syntax or filters that you can use on that particular field, and it will trigger by checking only that condition, right? So in here, I have chosen to, which means find emails sent to a specific person. In this case, I want to find the emails sent to the support domain of my company, right? So I have written to : let's check that. So to : support@talkflowai.com, right? Mark email address as read when fetched. This is important. If it's important to you that you want to make it as read when they are fetched, click yes, otherwise click no. Maximize number of search results, we'll take it as 1 right now, but we'll come to it after a while, right? Okay, so it's asking us from where to start counting and where to start watching your emails. So we'll see. So we'll say from now on and click save. Okay, now once our automation or AI agent has fetched our emails, what is the next step? The next step is to feed the contents of that email into an AI and then let the AI figure out what to do with that and then either create a draft or send an email back, right? So for that, I would use Gemini's AI for this one because Gemini is the only one that is giving you a lot of free credits to use for these automations. Because otherwise, if you choose OpenAI or Claude or any other AI to use for that, they would charge you for every 1,000 or what 5,000 tokens. But you have to put your billing info and go through all of that settings before you even start and before you even try it out. But Gemini can give you an API key in one click and you can start right off the bat. So I think this is the best option to at least test. And I think it is the best option to even make it into production because Gemini's AI is getting better and better with time, right? So for this, we will use create a completion, right? And here it will ask to create a connection. If I hit it, it will ask me to put my API key. Now, where do you find your API key? You will go to aistudio.google.com and simply you click the get API key on the left and you literally can create an API key right here by clicking that. So it's as simple as that, no complications, just hit a button, create an API key and you get an API key. This creation of an API key is quite complex in every other AI platform, but with Google, it's just one click and that's what we want. So I will use my existing API key like this one and click copy and then I go back and then I put my API key right. So now with the AI model, I would suggest you to use Gemini 2.0 Flash because this is the newest one and the rate limits are pretty generous because I'll show you if I go to aistudio@google.com and we will choose all these models. Gemini 2.0 Flash is for all context lens and it's great for multi-model understanding and the rate limits are pretty generous because if we use any other thinking or pro ones, the rate limits are kind of very low for the free tier. Okay, so for that, we'll just use the Gemini 2.0 Flash. Now, this is a very important step because here we have to define what the model should think and act like and how exactly we are going to ask it to be our customer support AI agent, right? So for that, we will choose model here and we will add text as the option. And in here, we will have this text that you are a helpful customer support, analyze the question given to you and reply in a helpful, polite way. In the end, ask for the customer's phone number to call back in case the issue is urgent and still not solvable by your solution. Okay, and the text to, and we will have the contents of the email to be analyzed by the Gemini model. All right, so this is done. Now the next step would be so far what we have done is we have watched the emails and we are watching whenever we are getting any email to our support specific email address and then we are passing all the information to the Gemini and we are asking it to be a customer support on our behalf. And the next step would be to send an email as a reply to a customer or save it as a draft for us to view in future. So we have two options here. We will again choose Gmail and either we can create a draft, right, which we can review later on if we want to review it ourselves, or we can just give the power of sending an email also to the AI agent so that we can create a completely autonomous AI agent that is handling the customer support for our company. So in this scenario, we will use send an email, right? And now we have to fill the fields very carefully because the to recipient should be the email address from which the customer emailed you, right? So here you should pick the sender name, the sender email right here, and the subject would be Talkflow AI customer support for, and I would put the sender's name inside the subject itself because that provides a layer of personalization for the customer and it just really adds that flair to your customer support, right? And the contents would be hey, I'll put a name and then I'll put the content as the result of what Gemini provided us in the whole AI pipeline, right? All good in here. And this should be good enough, and we might have some problems, but we'll tackle all of that with you live. But let's test the scenario and let's see if that works for us or not. So we'll go to my personal Gmail and compose an email to test our AI agent, topflowai.com, and we can have any standard customer support for AI agent. So let's say I say the API key is not working. The API key is not working. Okay. So let's say the API key of my OpenAI agent is not working. Can you help? Right? And I'll send this email to support at TalkFlow. And we have the email from my personal Gmail to the support at TalkFlow AI. Now let's try to run the scenario. Let's come back to the scenario and let's run it and see what happens. So let's click run once. And what this will do is this will watch emails and it will find out that one new email has been received right here, and then it will do the further things. So let's run it and see what happens. Gemini is working, and let's hope it sends a nice and useful email back. So if I see here, the message was, the text to analyze is this, and the result has been, okay, so it has done all these calculations and sent us all the possible solutions that might be there that is hindering us to use the API in the correct format. And let's see, let's go back to our personal Gmail and see what the reply is. Okay, so we have a reply, but we also have a problem that this reply is not really formatted in a very readable way by human, right? So let's fix that. Let's go back to our automation and let's also add your reply should be in an HTML format for the Gmail composer, right? So let's save here, and in this it says you can use HTML tags, but since we have instructed Gemini to give us the text as an HTML already, so whatever they give us as HTML inside this node, it will automatically get filled inside this one, and we should have, in theory, a nice formatted instead of this one line or basically crap that what we have right now in this one. So let me write my OpenAI API is not working, please help. So now I'll send this and okay, so we have received this email and you can see it is from my personal email to running support. It has found and it says my OpenAI email. Now it's running the automation. Now let's go back to our scenario. Okay, we should have a reply on the left, but this time if I refresh, make it side by side so that you can see how things are going in real time. So let me make it side by side with my email, right? And let's run this scenario. It's running, it has found the email. Now it's running the automation and okay, we should have a reply on the left. If I refresh, yes, we have a reply. And we have success. We have everything in a very nicely formatted version, which is actually what a human customer support would do if I would have asked the same question. And I'm not sure if the human would be able to give me all these options, but Gemini has, right? So this is a great thing that you can do at scale with your company, with your brand, and imagine the possibilities and imagine the customer satisfaction when they receive a reply back with all these detailed information, right? And the best thing is I have also added this line at the end that if you want to speak directly to a support agent, you can provide a phone number and a convenient time to call, and we'll be happy to reach out to you. Now here you can also add one more automation that you can create a voice AI agent, preferably by using TalkFlow AI, or you can use any of my other tutorials, right? And you can also automate people who are not happy with the email support to actually get a call support with your brand. And even if they're not happy and they want to talk to a customer, you can actually dynamically transfer the call to an actual human agent, at the end of the conversation. So this right now is a complete AI automated agent workflow to handle the customer support of your brand completely autonomously with minimum human effort or minimum human injection needed. Now, I would add one more step over this, because right now what we are doing is, let's make it one screen. Right now we are doing a very generic support. Like we are not putting our company's actual knowledge base inside the automation or the AI agent. So it's doing a very generic job because OpenAI is pretty popular and the knowledge base is pretty public. That's why we were able to get this kind of amazing reply. But what if we are a small company? We are not OpenAI, we are some Shopify store, or we are some other SaaS business. What if we want to add our own knowledge base? That is also possible, and I'll tell you how right now. So let's say we want to add the documentation of VAPI as a lookup knowledge base for our AI automation. So for that, let's go with API reference. So while designing agents like voice AI agents, which I do, and probably why you are also on this channel, we use a lot of these API calls to make those assistants be able to take or do actions whenever a call is received or done. So these are very, very important references and documentation in which mostly people get stuck on, right? So as a demo, I would tell you how to add this inside your AI agent so that your agent is only focused on this knowledge base and is not generally Googling information and giving to your customers, right? So let's copy the URL of this one, and now let's go back and now let's change our prompt a little bit, right? Only refer to this link for your knowledge base. And I'll put the link of the API reference only, right? So now we click save, and now the ultimate test comes. Now, if I create a new email once again, okay, now I would say help with API. I'm not able to make a call using my voice AI VAPI agent. Can you help with this? Okay, so let's send this one. Okay, we have the email. So this is the email, help with API. I'm not able to make a call using my voice AI VAPI agent. Can you help with this? And let's go to our automation and then let's make it side by side. Okay, let's make it here. Okay, anyway, now let's run this and let's see how the reply comes. This is the moment of truth. Let's see if we pass or fail. And we have a reply. And this is a great success, right? So according to API reference, it has referred the API, which is the correct link that we published it with, right? And now it has given us all the possible solutions that it thinks that might help us. And this is only focused on the API documentation that I have provided as a link, and it's not Googling anything else because I have told it to be confined to only that knowledge base. So this is a huge success. And if you have any knowledge base, which you should for your company, you can just put in your link inside here and you can create an autonomous AI agent that answers a support query for your brand 24/7, right? Now let's take it one more step further. Okay, let's close this one. And okay, so right now what we have done is we are watching emails one by one, right? So I told you we'll come back to this number later. So it says maximum number of results is 1, right? Now the problem with giving it too high number is that all of these connections have rate limits, right? And this one, as far as I remember, is I think 30 runs per minute. If you're having more queries than that, then your automation will provide an error. To work around that, what we'll do is we'll use something called as a mail hook, right? Mail hook is very similar to what a webhook is. And if you know what a webhook is, webhook basically runs whenever a new data arrives at that instant. Because in this one, either we will choose to run this manually, or we have only these options like at regular interval, once every day, whatever, on demand, right? All these options do not have that option that runs automatically or triggers whenever a mail arrives. Like it's not like a push notification that we get. This is a fetch format that we are using right now, right? So this doesn't work for us if we are getting more than like 30 requests in a short period of time. If that happens, our whole scenario would fail, and we don't want that. What we want is whenever a new email comes, immediately our scenario should run and we should give an answer to our customer right there, right now, right? For that, we will add a new module and we will add a mail hook inside this one, right? So we will add a mail hook and we will say Gmail mail hook. Okay, so we'll use it as the first scenario. And now we don't need the watch emails actually. We can actually do it like that. So we'll, okay, and we go to the setting link from this and we'll link it from here. Okay, now we have to customize, we have to get this going because right now it's not going to work because we have not set up this mail hook correctly. So for this one, we'll copy this URL. Okay, we click save and we go back to our email client, which is our support at Talkflow AI account, right? So we go here, click on forward emails. Okay, so we have to add a forwarding address and we have to put the webhook URL inside this address, right? We click next and then it will verify for our forward. Okay, it's asking us to confirm the forwarding mail as this mail hook URL. We'll click proceed and it should work. Now it's asking us to verify this webhook. Now it's not an email address, so we can't check for the email, but what we can do is we can run mail hook so that whatever verification Gmail has sent to that mail hook, it will receive it, right? So let's run this module. Okay, so it has received a text, and inside this you have to check for the text, and you should be receiving this link to click, right? So if I copy this and I paste it and I click it, it should confirm us as forwarding address for our emails, right? So we should confirm this right here, and it will now forward our emails to this webhook, right? So we'll close this. And now whenever you receive an email, this webhook will get triggered and you have to do these changes. You have to change the text from here to the text from the webhook, because remember initially we had this Gmail node as our primary node, but now we have a webhook node. So in the webhook we have to get the contents of the email. So the content should be, where is the content? The text content, right? So this one is what needs to be changed, and here as well we have to change the from address to the sender email address, the name to the sender name, and here as well the name from this one to that one, right? So now this agent, this workflow is even more powerful because it will immediately run as soon as any customer support email arrives, and then it immediately will send a reply to that customer. You can also have a delay timer in between if you want to make it more humane, right? Because sometimes if we get immediate support, we kind of think it's an automated one, right? So you can add a delay timer right here in between a webhook and Gemini, right? Or from Gemini to Gmail, whatever works, right? But the point is, this 3-step scenario can actually make your whole customer support fully automated. And if you club this with a voice AI agent, you can do next level things. And this is the true power of AI, which I want to teach you on this channel. And remember, if you want to make a new account on make.com, and if you want to have a free pro plan for the first month and get 10,000 automations instead of just default 1,000, you should check my link down below and use that to sign up, because that is a special link that I have bought for you in partnership with Make that gives you a pro account for free to test 10,000 automations to start with.